Making money is a top priority for so many of us because, after all, you need the money in order to pay for some of the things that you are going to be accessing in society. What are some of the ways that you've heard of that you can make money? Have you considered if there are other alternatives? Well, we're going to discuss that in this video today. Welcome back to Ira Living. In today's video, we're going to look at 5 ways in which we can make money. And these are the standard 5 ways that people make money. Have you ever heard somebody say that they don't want to be trading their time for money? It sounds quite awesome, an idea to think about, isn't it? Well, pretty much whatever means that you're going to use to make money, you are going to need to trade your time for it. And it's just about contemplating how you trade your time, how much of your time you trade, and also the amount of physical impact that this means of earning money is going to have on you. So whatever you do, time is going to need to be traded. We just need to try and look at how we can economize the amount of our time we're going to trade. We need to look at how we can scale up the different ways in which we utilize our time to make that money. And we need to look at how we can minimize the amount of physical labor that we're going to need to put in to make that money. So overall, what we want to be doing is to ensuring that we're working smarter, not necessarily harder. And we need to be conscious of the fact that we are going to need to trade our time. The difference here is the value of our time when we're trading it, because we are going to need to invest time, effort, and energy to build out any means of stream of income that we're going to look to create that is actually going to be meaningful to us. Many of you at this point might be saying, well, what about those people who decide that they're going to delegate the responsibility of trading their money in order to make more money and therefore not needing to invest their time? Well, there are people like those. And oftentimes those are people who have managed to amass and acquire significant amount of wealth. And therefore they're at a position in their life where they've already done the hard work. They've already traded their time to create a portfolio that they could now be giving to somebody else, where they can trust them to make the relevant decisions in order to be able to create more in those portfolios. Now, we're looking at people who are at the stage where you are growing a portfolio, or you are trying to get that portfolio to be what you envision it to be before you decide that you're going to delegate the responsibility off to somebody else. And so we're going to talk about the 5 key ways in which you can focus on creating or making money. And number 1 is the general pattern that most people are geared up to doing. It's the way in which, since the industrialized revolution, that's how people have been focused, because they have been geared up to get their education and then be prepared to go to an employer and go and work. So the first one we're going to look at is a job or a career. Now, you can decide that you're going to go down that path. If you do, make sure that it's something that you're passionate about, and also that it is something that's going to pay you in a worthwhile manner. So it's going to be paying you enough that is meaningful for the service that you're providing. Regardless of whether you have a job where you work for somebody or you have other forms of earning money, the key thing is not necessarily about the amount of money you're earning. It's about what you do with that money. So even though you are working for somebody in a job, you are still the captain of your ship in terms of how you build out your wealth from there, because you can decide how you're going to be spending that money and direct it in the way that you choose. Teachers are one of the professions that gets paid really poorly in any country that you go to. And yet, if you take on the statistics of the United States of America, teachers are some of the most millionaires that exist in that country. And how do they do it? It's because they are strategic. They plan out for their future and they use their money wisely. The money that they earn, they earmark it, they direct it accordingly. And therefore, they're able to grow out and build wealth. So however your means of earning, so long as it's honest and you are able to earmark and direct and manage that money properly, then you are able to do significantly well with that money. The second way of making money is to provide a service. Now, if you're providing a service, then that means you're meeting some of the wants and needs of people in your society and in your sphere. And therefore, you are giving them what they need at the point of contact. You cannot duplicate yourself. So there's only a certain amount that you can really do. And therefore, you're going to be limited in how much money you can acquire, because what you will need to do if you're providing a service is you'll need to consider how you can increase the price. And if the price doesn't seem like value for money, are people going to pay for it? So therefore, your key thing is to increase the price or to reduce the amount of time it takes you to provide that service for those individuals. And if you're going to do things to a good quality, there's going to be a certain set number of time that is actually required to provide that service. So that's something that you need to consider. Equally, like somebody who is working in a job, if you're providing a service for somebody, you're skilled enough to be able to deliver on your service, and you're able to acquire or attract a good price for the service that you deliver, then equally it is up to you to figure out how you're going to manage that money, how you will direct it in a way that is going to cause you to actually be able to build out a good wealth portfolio for yourself. The third way to be able to earn money is to be able to provide a product. And the difference with providing a product and a service is that the product is sort of you doing a multiplicity of yourself, because you're less limited and less restricted, because you can do multiple versions of that product and have it provided for people, and you can serve several groups of people all at the same time with that product. And it is becoming an increasing thing now in the marketplaces where people are providing products to people because there is a need in the market for those products. And so instead of providing a service, when people are thinking about setting up a service, they now start to look at how can they take the next step in their planning and their thinking about it to be strategic enough to, instead of providing a service, create it out as a product so that they can then sell that, because it is a lot more advantageous in terms of the costs that you can associate to it and the amount of your time that it's going to be taking up. And therefore it becomes a much greater yield or opportunity at creating a large amount of money with your skill set that you are using to create that product. Number 4 is to add value. So this is where you're adding value to people within a sphere. It's the next level up from providing a product. And this is by providing information that people are able to use to improve their skill set, improve their mindset, improve themselves holistically, and also improve their experiences. And that information that you are then creating and providing for these people, it means that you have gone ahead and done the research. You've trialed it, you've compiled it, and you're making it readily available to people who need it so that they can pick it and use it. So again, this is a more elite version of a product, and therefore it is created to add value to people's experiences and help them in their own self-development and the experience of their overall living in its totality. And number 5 is investment. And at this moment in time, investment can take several different forms. It can be that you're a silent investor in an organization. It can be that you're investing as a partner in a company or corporation. It could be that you're investing in the stock market. Whatever your form of investment is will determine how much of your time and energy it's going to be required in order to nurture it and to grow it out. If you're investing on the stock market, it might require a little bit less of your time than if you're investing in a corporation, for example. So it's up to you to decide which investment vehicle you're going to be taking and which pathway you're going to be going down when you decide to invest. Overall, the workload that is required for each of these different means of making money significantly decreases as you go down the list. However, at the same point, the amount of money that is required in order to start up any of these different means of earning money is considerably more as you go down the list. It is also going to be, therefore, an important factor to consider when you are deciding which of these means that you are going to be using to make money. Of course, you can try a variety of these different ways in order to make money. However, you now have an understanding of some of the different ways that you can make money. Which of them are you going to be using to be able to make money? Remember, as said at the very beginning of the video, the amount of money you earn is not what's the be all and end all of how much you are going to be having in your wealth portfolio. It's about the amount of money that you direct in a place where you can invest it and grow it, because that's what's going to make the difference in the end. Remember, financial literacy is revolutionary. It has transformed my life, and I believe that it can do the same to yours.